Right then, welcome to Dragon HQ and Dragon Studio. Welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. I'm Caroline, the original Dragon Lady. If you don't know, we're using these, which is my Dragon Path Oracle cards, which launched just over a year ago now, in October 2020, published by Watkins. The amazing artwork is done by Tira Spheri. So, week ahead, as usual. I missed last week. I am sorry. I was very remiss. I don't know what happened. But I didn't get to do my week ahead last week, or your week ahead last week. So what's the date today? It's the 5th of November. So your week ahead is going from the 5th of November. No, it's not. It's 5th of December. Oh dear. So it's the 5th of December 2021. So it's going from today through till next Saturday. Now, as always, if you don't catch this immediately, you get it 2 or 3 weeks later, or even a month or so later. Don't disregard it, because just because you didn't see it when it went out at the time, it doesn't mean that the reading is now null and void, because at that point, when it went out live, you didn't need it. But maybe you need to hear the message now, or when you're actually hearing it and connecting in with the dragons. So if you're hearing it for the live, then fantastic. Hello and welcome. And if you're on catch up at a later date or later year, then stay tuned in, because you never know what's going to come out of it that you might need. So if you're not familiar with my cards, you'll be in for a bit of a treat. And if you're an old hand and got your own deck, then you may well know the dragons quite well. So sometimes they ping out, and I've just been throwing them all over the show. And sometimes I've got to choose one. So let's see who comes out for you and what we have for your week ahead. Oh, it's been a bit busy here at Dragon HQ actually. So how's your week been, or your weekend been? What have you been up to? Anything good? Christmas shopping? Christmas tree up yet? Yeah, I've said to my hubby, I want my Christmas tree up. I just got the raised eyebrows, like, no, it's the beginning of December. It's not going up yet. It's like, oh, okay. Then I've got a photograph from my son. He's been out, but he said, picture of his Christmas tree. Oh dear, what have I done? It's the beginning of December. So his tree's up. I want mine. Right. Let's see. So there's 1, 3. I tend to do three cards. I think there's 2. I tend to do 3 cards when I do this. So let's see who else is going to come out. So we've got 1, 2. Which that way round. We've got 2 and 1 more. And sometimes when I'm doing this, there might only be one card that actually resonates with you. You may find that a couple do. You may find all 3 do. So just sort of stay tuned and see what resonates for you. I don't know who we're going to have. Oh, don't want those. They flicked over. I tend to like the ones that only fall face down, not face up. Now I'm going to have to choose the last one. I think that one because you stuck. Right then. So who do I have? So our first one is, bit of balance. First card out. Oh, Luna. Well, since you just had a solar eclipse and things, it's, a new moon. It's all quite relevant, isn't it? Oh, and Mordwin. Okay. Interesting that, can you see that? Why do I actually get this all a bit blurry and never quite get it in focus when I do this? So, first one is balance. And interesting, we have Luna with balance. The last one, that is Mordwin. I'll show you that one in a minute. So, your week ahead is, and probably quite apt to getting into silly season, aren't we? With the run up to Christmas, the run up to Yule. And so I think probably balance is the perfect card to have, really, as the pressure starts building, especially if you're a parent. You know what it's like the run up to Christmas. There's so many things to do, isn't there? I remember, school days. You've got to be in 6 places at once, and you've got all the Christmas prep to do, and the Christmas presents, and Christmas cards, and it's just added stuff out of a normal busy week. So balance. Very much about keeping your feet on the floor. His message is keep your feet on the floor. And actually, do you know what? We're not superhuman. We are human doings. And we're not Superwoman or Superman. So just give yourself a bit of a break. And what the beauty of balance is, or what his message is it is okay to ask for support and help, whether that's from the dragons, or whether that's from your other half, or friends, or family, or anything else. It's okay to ask for help because it's about keeping that balance. So if you're feeling a bit off kilter, and if the pressure's starting to build and starting to get to you, take a breath, pause, take some time out, and just allow yourself to, I want to say, recalibrate, really. And ask the dragons to step in and give you a hand if you need it. So balance is really all about balancing. We're into this busy period to balance your time. Okay, balance out what you've got to do. You haven't got to do everything in one day. And if some things don't get done, actually, is it the end of the world? Is the world going to stop spinning on its axis because something didn't happen, or didn't get done, or didn't get finished? Probably not. So, try and keep a balanced perspective, I guess, is what he's saying. Okay, so that's balance for you. Now, interesting, he's come out with Luna. Now, we all know that we can get affected by the moon phases. We can either get hyper or sleepless, or bags of energy, or really tired with the changing of the moon phases, particularly new and full moon. So we're a new moon at the moment. New moon was yesterday. So it's interesting that Luna's out now. So we've got dark moons. There is no moon when we have a new moon or a dark moon. And so to come out with balance is quite interesting. So if you're feeling a bit all over the show with the moon phases, again, pause and look at what you can do to help yourself, and how you can maybe rebalance that emotional energy, that sort of flux and wave that goes on with the moon. Okay, so do you need to be a bit gentler to yourself around the moon, certain moon phases? Do you need to have more balanced perspective around certain moon phases? But the other thing that comes up with Luna is about feeling into emotions. So what does the moon, if you are affected by the moon phases, what does the moon bring up for you? Now, I think I'm right in saying that the new moon or the dark moon is unconscious mind, and the full moon is conscious mind. I think that's the right way around. I'm sure it is. So what part of maybe your conscious, your unconscious mind, you need to acknowledge, maybe do some work with, if you get very affected or emotional around the moon phases. So where do you need balance with that? So they're very, very good connection. And about honoring your emotions. There's also a need to flow, because the moon affects the tides and our waters, our internal water, and all that kind of stuff. So follow your emotions and what you're feeling. So don't push away feelings. This is where the balance comes back in. Don't push away any feelings and emotions that are surfacing for you. Maybe it's time to acknowledge and look at them, especially with this sort of new moon energy that we're into. And what do you need to do for you? So a little bit of self-care, a bit of meditation, walk in the woods. Now, self-care isn't eating a tub of ice cream and a bottle of wine and a soak in the bath. As nice as all of those things are, it's actually about maybe a bit of yoga, or if you do sport or running or anything like that, then you've fallen out of the habit. Get back into maybe doing some running, or some meditation, or anything that you do that is beneficial for your overall well-being and self-care. So look at if those things have slipped, maybe then you start bringing them back in, or if you do any kind of journaling, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so that's those two. Now I finished off with Mordwin, and actually I was just sort of initially wondering why Mordwin on the end of it. Can you see him? Good. There's Mordwin. Actually, Mordwin might be a her. I can't remember. Wrote these a long time ago. I can't remember. I think Mordwin. Yeah, Mordwin's a he. I was wondering, well, how did they actually fit together? But as ever, the dragons are clever, and they do. And Mordrin's all about your power. Now we've got not the tree of life here. If you can see that, I need to move that around. And so the tree of life is about our existence, our physical and spiritual existence on earth. That's my understanding of the tree of life. Very, very, that's obviously very watered down, and what's the word I want? Not paraphrasing, but it's an very brief, vague outline of the tree of life. It's a very complex system. But what Mordwin is saying is you are far more capable than you think you are. I think his opening words are, "You are the power." And I kept having that song around in my head for ages when he first appeared of "You are the power." So you might have an awful lot going on and stuff happening. Bear with me, I need 6 hands again. I need a little frame to hold these on, don't I? So you've got Balance and Luna that are pulling you, maybe pulling and pushing you in sometimes opposite directions with life. And Mordwin is saying, actually, you are the power. So you have the power, he's just said, to say no. Oh my goodness, how many of you say yes when you actually mean no? Because you feel you can't. You can't let anybody down, or you feel bad or guilty or unreliable, or all the things we go through. Feel those emotions. What do you need to do for you? What brings you balance into your life, especially at this time of the year particularly? You have the ability and the power to say yes, to say no, to embrace, and to walk away. So that's the message of the dragons this week for you. Bit of balance. Allow those emotions, allow them to flow, to honor them, acknowledge them, because they're showing you that something needs looking at on an emotion surface, whatever it may happen to be. And you have the power to have control of your life in the way that you want to have control of it. So don't feel that you've got to be pushed from pillar to post with all the expectations that we put upon ourselves, as well as the outside perceived or real pressure of this time of year. So you might have to you might have to dig deep for different reasons, to get everything accomplished that you wish to get accomplished. Put to one side the stuff that isn't important, isn't necessary, isn't needed. And actually, above all, just enjoy this run up to Christmas, because I know I used to hate it. I'd start getting stressed in October because of what was happening because of Christmas. So I just know how crazy it gets. And you've got kids and work and everything else you're trying to do. So, enjoy it, take the pressure off, and say no where you need to. That is this week's message from the dragons. And am I here next week? I don't know. I don't know what the date is. I might be. So hopefully I'll see you next week. I'd love to know what your thoughts and your comments are. As always, stick your comments down below, and all the links there to my pages and Facebook and website and newsletter sign up and everything else. And big love from me and Dragon HQ, and we'll see you next time. See you later. Bye for now.